engaged with the city, they ultimately made their way to the heart of the upper city and the Weaver's Presidium, where a evil ritual was taking place. Through the help of some of the weavers who were there, the head weaver named Wolfram and his second in command, Raj, they were able to infiltrate the ritual, fight back the demonic, goings-on that were occurring there at this blood ritual, and ultimately kill the avatar of death that had been summoned there. But as they did so, they were able to discern that there was more than just this summoning ritual going on. There was something else going on with the storm and even with the plane of death, Limbo itself. And so the party began to investigate and noticed that the altar, the obsidian black onyx altar that was there, was still active and had something to do with the portal that remained open to the swirling silvery gray mist of Limbo. And JB broke the altar, and out from it poured several shadow demons as well as a greater specter. The specter summoned back to life several of the Kendim, a order of assassin monk-type folks who use illuminated weapons, in some other universes known as lightsabers, to attack their prey. And Rubius was felled by Liu Kei, one of the Kendim. The party was able to finish off the shadow demons and ultimately the greater specter, but not before Rubius was killed. The party quickly sought to bring him back to life. Killian, the druid, enacting a resurrection ritual with all of the party coming around and seeking to draw his soul back to him. Maltoro, one of his old friends, old allies within the Kendim, was a part of this ritual. And unfortunately, they saw that the ritual failed. And as the ritual failed, Maltoro, with a look of pain and grief, quickly ignited his saber, took the head of Rubius, and Rubius' entire body was engulfed with electrical energy and ultimately was vaporized into ash, Maltoro absorbing the essence of Rubius into himself and then disappearing. This was a scene that Morthos, our tiefling Echo Knight, had seen before in past adventures, and he explained again to the parties the nature of what is known as the Pain Cursed. Individuals who are cursed with life, the inability to die, unless their heads are taken by another Pain Cursed. And so they surmised that Rubius must have been a Pain Cursed as well as Maltoro. Killian saw a vision of some of Rubius's past life and explained that to the party. Even as the party continued to investigate this ritual chamber, they began to clean things up, and Wolfram and Raj entered back into the Presidium, and they were able to investigate what was actually happening through the acolyte Lo, Wolfram's wife, who was a servant of the Raven Queen. JB questioned the Raven Queen and had a little encounter with her channeled through Lo, and Raj revealed himself to be a very powerful practitioner of dragon magic, who noticed the taint that had affected Marishka, and that had seeped into her very essence and engaged in a sort of cleansing ritual of his own. And through a lengthy, almost clash-like exchange, Raj transformed himself into a silver dragon, revealing his very core essence, and helped Marishka to rid herself of the necrotic curse that had afflicted her, and shifted her very essence from one that was predominantly red-scaled to now one that was predominantly golden-scaled. And her alignment itself shifted from chaotic neutral leaning evil to chaotic good.
Strong.
Leaning.
Strong.
Chaotic evil.
It's a chaotic evil leaning neutral, occasionally good.
And so as the dust has settled and you all have watched as Raj has expelled his breath weapon into the air, pushing forth this necrotic energy which no longer clings to Marishka, the room silences as you all stare wide-eyed at Marishka, golden hair beaming with energy, the golden flecks of light reflecting off of her scales, and this glow which is about her face as she looks out at you wide-eyed, and the floor is yours.
You're glowing! That is so pretty! Can I touch your hair?
That's
Yes.
a little different.
I know. I feel so much lighter.
Really?
Raj, you're the best! I give him another hug.
Raj just kind of shakes his head and very weakly kind of his form returning back to his Goliath self, the silver visage fading, and he kind of weakly puts an arm around you and taps your back as he is just exhausted from this ritual cleansing that he just enacted.
How did you do that? Am I ever going to learn how to do that myself?
He just kind of has a slight smile and looks at you and he says, Misa don't know, young one. Lot of training for that. You seem more of the sorceress.
I will take it as a yes. I'm going to do that one day.
Yeah, she still hears what she wants to hear, yeah. Hasn't changed.
Hey, Bart, maybe something cool like that will happen to you too sometime.
Well, no one can read my freaking sword.
It's Abyss, alright? We just have to find someone who studied that or is an expert, so...
Does anyone here read Abyssal?
Well, no, but this
yeah,
is...
I do.
What?
So you watch as Bart / Oliver holds it out to you, just kind of looking at you, and go ahead and try to read the runes.
Don't get too close. It's
You
been
see that
known to
they
impale
are
people.
abyssal runes, but
But
they
they're
are
runes, they're not words.
They're runes,
Yeah.
and they are etched in a blinding white script that kind of shines forth from the onyx blade itself.
Would
you
I
kind of avert your eyes, and then as your eyes dilate and adjust, you can see the runes, but you cannot read them.
None of them, I don't recognize any of them from, Morthos' past of...
They look arcane in nature, and they look like some of the runes that were on the sides of the altar that JB had previously sundered, but you can't make heads or tails of them.
Unfortunately, these are arcane runes, and I don't know what they mean. You're gonna need to find someone who understands the arcane, but also understands abyssal.
JB. You understand the arcane, right?
I'll say I have studied it for a while, yes.
I was gonna say, I had a wizard in the past that I knew that could. He had the ability to understand almost all languages. Can you do that?
Now, why would I need to know things like that? No, I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
I know there is a spell of that sort, but I've never studied it. Never seemed useful to me as a lonely little tower dweller growing my plantation
Well,
plants.
useful now.
Yes,
Well, I can't read Abyssal. I can't read runes. And, I can't read. So, yeah.
So as you guys are kind of
Sorry.
having this conversation, Killian has taken you all in his griffin form and ferried you to the market square where you previously engaged in combat and cleansed the lion statue. Killian is just kind of sitting in the lap of the lion statue that is there as you now are kind of having this conversation and continuing on. It is very, very late at night, about 1 in the morning, and you are very, very tired.
Guys, no one tell my parents I'm up this late. Ever.
Scout's honor.
Thanks, best friend.
You're welcome, best friend.
Are there any lights on in any of the places, like fires on around the area?
No, the only light that you see is
The light within your heart.
very
Aw.
carefully
Not there.
concealed, but only because you know that there are people there.
Hidden
You
under a
look
bush.
into
I'm gonna let it shine.
you look into the shop that you had seen before, where there was the tinkerer, and where you had seen the art of Willie, the artificer shop, Willie the gnome in his suit of armor, as well as Kessin Trustgold, the smithy. His smithy is there. There is a little bit of light shining through the very heavily reinforced windows and door that are there.
Does it look like people are there, or if that's just the forge still running?
It's this forge, and there's a light within, but everything is shuttered
I gotta find
very
the
heavily.
call. That's the only thing.
Is Rajra still with us?
Raj and Wolfram stayed back at the Weaver's Presidium as Killian ferried you to the market square.
Sweet.
I see we need to find shelter, and
cat nap.
I'm still hurting here from the last fight, so I need some sleep.
Yeah, I'm not doing too hot either.
Yeah, sleep would be a welcome relief.
Killian, I don't know why you brought us here,
Should I go
but
talk to Willie? See if he can let us in and we can stay in there?
That would be preferable. I know the statue is important to you, Killian, but it's in the middle of the open space.
Well, I just wanted to come back to a place that we were confident and comfortable with. That's all.
Comfortable? Weren't we attacked and tried to be killed here before? I don't know about comfortable.
And we wiped them all out. So
Oh, yeah. If you remember. Oh, my voice went weird there. It was like a mixture of both. If you remember.
Possession.
If you remember, I cut that big thing in half.
I remember.
Oh, yeah. And then
That was so cool.
something weird happened to her.
Yes.
And then I saved
And
all
then
of us.
something weird happened to her again.
And then I
Something
saved
weird
all of
always
us.
happens to her.
And then something weird happened again. There's 3 weirds. Like her hair got animated.
Then she turned purpley black.
Yep. And
Yeah,
now apparently
Yeah,
she's a
Brunette
dragon.
wasn't really my color. I don't think.
Maybe she's possessed.
We can go into her heart and learn all her secrets.
Speaking of possessed, have you noticed my right arm?
I didn't want to say. I mean, I thought you were going for a new fashion sense.
All of that's natural, and I don't understand it, nor do I like it. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah.
Do you just say it's natural?
It's growing on its own.
It's
Do
growing on its own. There's nothing causing it that you are aware of.
Not that I mean, it's probably use of this guy. But
no.
we all heard.
You don't say.
Didn't you have a dream way back when you turned into a black kitty cat? Sorry, Tabashi. Like, and then you
Tabaxi,
like
but
blew
okay.
blew a hole in the ship, and I had to like repair it with Casper.
oh yeah,
Can't.
Yeah, remember that? You were telling me all about it, and I just remember it because you were my best friend, obviously.
I do remember that. I fought myself in my dream.
Yeah, and you had the black one, which was like killing everyone. And then you
Yeah.
had the white one,
Indiscriminately,
who was, like,
yeah.
sneaking everyone. Yeah, that's
Oh.
a cool dream.
That's not good then.
Like a premonition of things to
Oh,
come?
son of a gun, that's clever writing. So does that mean... I mean, traditionally, Midnight Tabaxi... Midnight Tabaxi are a little bit more feral tend to be used in negative campaigns, bad things.
We heard the demon thing talking to him about that, right? Like it mentioned that it's not natural that he's turning black. But the sword is influencing.
Bart, I can't remember. Do you speak Abyssal?
I do not.
So that's right. You do
maybe
not.
you heard it.
But I do.
No, he spoke Abyssal. You understood it, Bart,
I did.
even though you don't speak that language.
That was weird.
Or is that a
And
stone?
you heard what he was saying in Abyssal. The rest of you who don't speak
Gotcha.
Abyssal didn't understand what was said.
Making sure.
Do you remember what he said?
He said,
Let me get back in my notes.
Adam does
History
not. But
check.
Morthos rolled 19 on history, so he might.
First
So
time ever.
he basically, in so many words,
Bring it back. You don't
said
even know what
that-
you have. It's not even activated.
exactly.
I believe that was it.
Brain blast.
Yes, I believe you are right.
Which I think he was referencing. He puts that one away. Fing! Well, Ivory Crest doesn't have its
I
coin.
I was going to say, I believe when you first pulled that out, he was quite, I would almost say, shocked or alarmed when he
bet he
saw
was
it.
when I first pulled it out, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, he thought he was gonna have to do a lot more work on his own.
Carry on.
And then he did say something about you don't even know what you have, which means that there's more to that sword than we know.
Well, I'll be honest. I definitely don't understand what I have because I don't have the coin, and the legend says that the coin activates the sword completely, and it's coinless.
Hmm.
I
Hence,
thought you just used the coin to carve on the
well,
sword.
that's part of it. So this is see these runes, and he shows these are hieroglyphics right here that explain the whole Tabashi story of how we were created, how we fell, how we went into exile, and then how we ran away and found our promised land. But that's where it ends. And there's always this premonition, there's this talking about like a savior coming.
Like prophecy.
Yeah, it's kind of like a prophecy. That's the word, not premonition, prophecy. Yeah, that's it.
My mom has those
While
all
they're
the time.
talking,
My
I'm
mother
gonna
was quite...
sit on the lion
On it.
statue and
On it.
kind of take a short rest while I talk.
And then I'm walking. Let's walk over and talk. Walk and talk. We'll knock on
Okay.
willies.
Roll an athletics check to get to the top of the line.
Oh, is it high?
It is.
No,
very-
I know, not the top, like the base.
You can
of the
get
feet.
to. So Killian is kind of sitting. It is on an elevated dais that's up maybe about
Gotcha.
6 to 8 feet, and then the line is just kind of there. And
You
Killian
kill
is
yourself.
Killian is in its
Oh my
paws.
goodness.
Well,
Could you
I
imagine?
didn't
lion
realize it was
picks him
higher.
up and
JB would
throws
not
him.
have put forth effort to go
That's fine.
higher.
What-
He's leaning against it. It was in
Like
7.
a cool kid.
it was a 7.
That's right.
You can get up to where Killian is if you care to.
Oh.
And then he's just kind of sitting there with his feet over the dais.
Yeah, I'm gonna get closer to Killian.
Okay. So as you move
I wish he
towards
was here.
as you move
This
towards
is what
Killian
we
and
do.
sit up on the dais with him, kind of in the shadow. It's night, so it's dark everywhere, but if it was light, there would be a kind of the underneath the chest and the strong jowls and mane
Yep.
that kind of falls down of the lion that is there. And as you prop yourself up, you immediately feel a sense of peace in this spot.
JB says to Killian in his time of grieving again. How you doing? In a high-pitched voice like that.
Well, I just hate all this death.
Seems to be happening often around us. To the good guys too, not just the bad ones.
Yeah, it's sad, but I don't know what to say. I know, and he kind of looks up at the statue. I know he's doing something through all this. It's hard to see sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's going to yell at me just like what the Raven Queen did about something. But I do know that I think our group here has been brought together through death. Closer. And so if that's part of someone's plan, it's pretty conniving if you ask me, but it's working.
It's one twisted mother effer.
Yep.
I don't pretend to know. I'm just trying to follow as best I can. I know he's got work for me to do, and that's all I'm trying to do is the work.
Yeah.
That he's said I need to do.
Well, look down there. Look at those 5, 4, however many there are down there.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's 4. Okay.
Yep.
Look at those 4. I forgot how to count. Sorry. They're so far away.
JB needs bifocals?
It's quite interesting that you and Morthos gathered us up together here, including Rubius. And I think, to my recollection, we have made a difference in many locations. We've saved multiple cities already.
Yeah, we have.
From the initial storm, but
Saloon and now Mulhessen.
at this point, I refuse to stop what we're doing because we've had one loss, or another loss, and so, are you ready to get moving, or are you just gonna lay here all night? Honestly.
Well,
Buck up, come.
I let you mourn for quite a while after the last one passed. Yes, you were huffing and puffing the whole trip here. So
I've been thinking a lot, and I think that some rest would do us good tonight. Although I feel pretty chipper.
yeah, why is that?
There seems to be. He kind of looks up at the statue again, and kind of pats the giant paw next to him. This seems to be a special place of rest.
It is very comfortable up here. I might even camp out right here on this statue.
Well, I'll make sure I stay right next to you then. Keep watch.
Right, you'd go on the other side of the paw, though.
He smiles and just kind of hops over. If that makes you feel better.
2 bros in a hot tub. 6 feet apart because I...
And then he'll just keep watching these guys chat about the predicament this cat guy's in.
Okay.
And we were walking over there, and I was explaining the prophecy and pointing out the different hieroglyphics, and then legend says that the ivory sword has, like, in our rival, like an antithesis sword, kind of like everything this one stands for. There's another one that stands for the exact opposite.
That's crazy. I wonder if we're gonna find it.
I don't believe it, actually. I think that's a bunch of
You think
bullshit.
it's a myth?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's a myth?
I haven't seen this sword, have you?
No, not at all. I mean, like, it's like a fight between good and evil. It's like all the stories you would tell.
I
me.
know. It's not like it would. Thing.
It's not
It's
like
not-
a black and a white sword and one that's turning you black.
I appreciate
Wait,
it.
Holy shit!
Let me see this. Let me see
I
this.
mean, maybe they were drawn to each other, which is why you have them both.
Are you telling me
Nope, I'm not telling you
It's
a damn
almost like
thing.
you're proving that the legends are true? Right here. And he holds them out. They're like they match. Like
When you hold them together,
yeah. Oh no,
Oh boy, I've never done this.
I have not.
Everyone
I
dies.
need you to make a strength saving throw.
Ooh. Strength.
Oh, it could be anti-magnetism.
I've learned that when you interrupt him while he's talking, it's never...
Do I get advantage because I'm awesome?
No. The next rolls you might.
6.
6. Okay. Now I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw.
With advantage.
Yes.
Oh
Oh
no.
boy.
Go ahead.
Oh boy.
I get possessed.
18.
18. And now I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw. Again, with advantage.
16.
Okay. As you hold them out, kind of
Like so?
unthinking, there is an immediate reaction from both. The soul quencher the onyx blade that oozes with this evil necrotic essence immediately goes to fuse together with the ivory crest.
Oh! No!
You are unable to pull them apart.
Oh, not good. Not good.
Whoa.
And the ivory crest begins to turn black.
Hold on, do we all see this?
I think I just broke it. I broke prophecy.
I believe it now! I believe it!
As you focus and concentrate, there is something that wells up within you. And you are able, not through strength or torque or any ingenuity of your own physicality, it is something within you that allows you to almost will them back apart. And as you do so, the blinding white script on the soul quencher shines forth once more, and the tip of the blade of the ivory crest that was beginning to turn black flashes and is ivory white once again.
So the ivory crest is completely white,
Yes.
and the runes flash.
Back to the way it was before.
So everything's the same.
Yep. Although the runes are just kind of glowing and effervescent. So
Do I notice that?
yeah, you see them, and then they kind of go. Then it fades. It's just like there was clearly an interaction between the blades.
All right.
Well, if that doesn't prove it, I don't know what else
Yeah,
will.
what was that part?
I wouldn't do that again.
I don't know.
Have you had those swords all this time and you've just never held them together in the same hand?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Why would I? I'm a
I
dual
don't
wielder.
know, like any sort of handling, maintenance of the blade. You just never held them together.
Like, I mean, one at a time. You know,
Wow.
when you sharpen it, then you put it away, and
That
then
didn't
you,
seem good though.
yeah, you don't cross swords often.
I guess that explains why you killed Captain Hook or Tooth or whatever his name was.
Captain Tooth and the sword did it. Technically, the sword did do
I mean,
it.
if it's the epitome of all evil, I believe the sword did it.
So, I think we've proved a point. The prophecy is correct. And I actually have the opposite
The
sword
yin
as
to the
well.
yang.
Yeah. Wonder what that means.
Good and bad, raging inside of you.
Yeah.
How will it end?
It makes more sense now.
It does.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
What do you
not
think it
gonna
means
lie.
when it gets to my brain?
I was just going to ask you, what happens when it gets to your head?
I don't know.
Or your
Do you think
heart.
I get a third personality?
That'd be
That
too
would
weird.
not be
no,
good.
don't let
No.
that happen.
No?
We will call him Bali.
Well, what? Bart started coming out, like
Doesn't
taking
Indian
over
accent.
when you got that sword, right?
Actually, recollection, when we were in Drong Tower, I started getting severe headaches, and then Bart was arguing with me internally. And then when we got out of Drong Tower, he kind of said, like, take a back seat. I'm going to talk for a while. And then he came out. Is that right, Bart? Yeah, that's about right. About right.
So it's not when you got the sword?
No.
Okay. My theory
I mean,
was
I
when you got-
really wanted the sword because it's shiny and sharp.
Well, of course, Bart. I understand that completely.
Yeah.
But maybe when it gets to your brain, it'll just be Bart forever.
Well, that's not so bad.
Or
I mean, you're my best friend.
more than likely, he won't be either.
But Ollie can talk, so
Like-
read. Ollie can read.
So,
Take it from someone who knows a thing or two about curses.
Does that
Remember-
mean we get to go into his heart and purge everything?
This is something that
go for it.
we might want to take care of
I'm
before
good.
it's
I'm
too
a
late.
saint now.
I want
All
to.
of you are the
It's
ones.
clearly
struggling.
glowing, and I don't know what it says because I can't read runes, and he can't read. I don't know what to do.
Oh, you know the guy who talks really slowly that I met once?
Mas-
like this.
Master Nain.
Yeah, maybe he could help. Can you, like, call him through your mind?
Yeah,
Sending?
Professor Exum.
Yeah. I don't know how it works. I know Rubius used to talk in your ear.
JP, don't you
Don't
know
know if it
sending?
worked, but...
We could ask him.
Master Nain.
Yet I don't.
Vajra?
I haven't slept.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Fix me, please.
And then you see Mortha's kind of like,
Please roll a D100.
Ooh.
Whoa.
This is all on the landing of
An 81.
Willie's.
81.
Oh,
Okay.
hey. That's cool.
And then he kind of sits there and he focuses even harder and goes, I'm not quite sure how this works, but I know you've heard me in the past. I think we have some questions that you might be able to answer.
Roll a perception check.
I like to imagine that you're holding your sword up to your mouth like you're holding your microphone right now.
18.
Everywhere. Hello.
As you're speaking, kind of looking up, you, out of the corner of your eye, note a reflection or flash of your lapel pin of the gray hands.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's like a, Star Trek. It's like
It's a comm.
And it seems to
It's a Star Trek.
have some sort of resonance to it. But nothing happens.
Well,
Maybe it's like bed
I tried.
connection.
Worth a shot.
I appreciate it. I mean, I think we all know now it's a problem. Apparently, I have the cursed antithesis of my sword, and we should probably do something about that.
Well, out of game, did we actually meet the smithy, the master smithy guy yet?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
We saved
He,
it.
he
That's what I
and,
thought,
he and
right?
Willie,
Okay.
I think, were together when we
Kinda
first
saved us.
saved this
Yeah.
section.
Oh, that's right.
And we're on
Okay.
the landing of Willie's door, like, right now.
Yeah, we're
We've
literally
just been
talking in his doorway. Okay.
Up, there it is. Willie?
Ray starts knocking
Yoo-hoo.
at the same time you're knocking.
The door
Should I oil my
begins
Linda
to open,
Oh, nice.
and you see a long hallway.
I opened his door before.
Mhm.
Did I see this before?
No.
Guys, this doesn't look the same.
How so?
Like
What do you mean?
Before it was a normal house, it wasn't a long hallway. Do you see the long hallway?
Do we see the long hallway?
You look in, you see a long hallway.
Yes.
There are sconces that go down the hallway, and it seems to go on as far as you can see.
That's
straight
not
ahead.
normal. I think we should investigate.
That's a lot
So-
of square foot.
I mean, I'm ready to go.
Morthos will immediately grab onto Ray, and he'll send Sola right down the hallway.
Come on.
Sola goes down. You see her radiant presence glowing as she travels 30 feet down the hallway.
Well, she can now travel a lot further than that.
Oh, she can. Yep. And
Level
she goes,
9, baby.
and she keeps
A
going,
mile down the
and she
hall.
keeps going, and she keeps going.
Nothing changes, just
It-
same thing
It
repeating over and
seems
over.
to be an infinite hallway.
All right,
It's a little strange.
let's go.
Well,
You want to walk
Do I
down
see
the
this from
infinite
up on
What's the
hallway.
worst
the-
that could happen?
You see
Line
them all
base.
peering into the doorway as you kind of look back at them.
Hey,
I
Hey,
guess we need to check
JB?
this out.
you might want to come help us should we do something stupid. And Morthos just starts walking in.
whoa, she grabs him first.
She grabs him. I like it.
Oh, maturity.
I mean, I know, I'm kind of like, I'm so tired, I'm like really energetic, but I don't think I could get really mad right now, and I know a lot of people are also kind of hurting, like, look, everyone's bleeding, and I mean, I'm kind of
Profusely.
bleeding too, so maybe we should take like a quick little cat nap, and then
Oh, I love
A
catnaps.
quick
I know.
8-hour nap. That would be so nice.
by
Just
the
8 hours.
statue, and then we can go in,
Willie.
before we get trapped in a long hallway that never ends.
Are you calling down the hallway?
Yeah.
All right. Roll perception check.
Willie.
Does it not echo?
Cock.
I feel like this is a really big trap right now.
An infinite,
Perception?
Infinite trap.
Perception, you say? 23.
Or this dude's got the most expansive foyer.
You hear
Foyer.
kind of
Foyer.
lowly reverberating back to you as you call down the hallway.
I've heard that voice. We're safe.
Go!
Unless it's a ghost.
Worth the risk!
I agree.
I was going to say
Wait, there is.
there's only one left that sounds like that.
Yeah. It was so slow and monotonous.
Mr. Slowpoke!
All right, I'm in. Let's go.
Come on, JP! Come on, Killian!
Killian jumps off of the dais and starts running with his little halfling legs towards you.
Hurry up.
I will
Jeez.
walk slowly towards them.
You guys
And
are
you're
slow when he's
outpacing him with your
talking.
slow walk.
Poor Killian.
All right. So that was Mr. Nain, right?
Yeah, that's who it sounded like.
I'd like to do checks, all kinds of checks. Arcana.
Go ahead.
Also, a real estate check on the square
Real estate
footage
check.
here.
This is a 300,000 square foot house.
Do we have our pre-approved?
Yeah. FHA.
Yeah.
27.
Your now clear lenses
Yeah.
help you to see that there has formed a almost pocket dimension in this doorway as the door has been opened.
You said almost pocket dimension, right? We don't have to worry about bringing any
Sort of.
dimensional bags in.
It's a
It's
purse
a,
dimension.
What are we gonna blow up?
It's a sort and type of which you are familiar. Having
Like where we were
already-
after Drunk Tower.
Not only, actually, you've been in two of these. One was with the lady, and one was with Vajra and Nain.
Mm-hmm.
This feels very similar to each of those.
All right. I say the magic here is not unsafe. Just seems like someone has created an internal realm here. I don't know why we're going into it, but
Well, Ali yelled and poor Bart yelled and whoever it was.
It is
and-
me.
Okay, I get confused sometimes.
No, it was also me. You were right both times.
And the laugh that came back kind of sounded like Master Nain. I think it is okay for us to travel in, or it is someone who is very smart and trapping us all, and we all die. Either way, Morthos is going in.
Yeah, why wouldn't Nain just
Rest
say come
is
in? though?
coming one way or the other.
One way or the other, Morthos is going to get his rest.
Okay.
And no me
It's a
better
sign.
man.
In my newfound wisdom, I say we go.
Ray's gonna cartwheel down. Staying up late is more exhilarating than all the coffee.
Ooh, you're gonna take that?
Ooh.
She's never been up this late before, guys.
Killian follows behind.
could stay up later with more coffee, but I haven't been able to get beans yet.
Let's do it.
Once I have a long rest, I'll be able to contact people I need to contact for these kind of
Okay.
things.
All right, well, let's have an
We haven't slept in,
extremely
like-
long and slow conversation.
4 days have we not slept for?
Who needs sleep when you're killing demons?
That's right.
So season 3 of the campaign is all taking place in a hallway.
Yep.
The entire time.
It's all
Just
a
different
dream.
doors that open up. Monsters Inc.
So you
Monsters
enter
Inc.
into
style.
the
What's that,
long
Word Up
hallway
magazine?
and you begin walking straight ahead. Sconces every 10 feet or so.
Is it like a normal looking hallway? Like wood floors,
White
regular wall, or
marble floors
Ooh.
with white marble walls that come to a vaulted ceiling of white marble. It is very light. The sconces are in a bronze, clean bronze, not tarnished in any way, with the wooden and the wooden holders of what looks to be continual flames, not real fire but magical fire, which burn along the way. You enter in and you hear your footsteps reverberate as each of you take steps in. And as you enter, the last one of you through the door shuts behind you, and the entire hallway spins, and each one of you feel this kind of wrenching feeling in your stomach as
No hands, Bart. No hands.
as the gravity within kind of leaves for a moment, as you feel yourselves kind of go 0G and then resettle as it reorients itself. And now, instead of facing an endless hallway, you're facing a large open doorway, at the end of which is a fireplace with a fire. And you see the silhouettes against the fire of 2 large backed chairs, the likes of which you have seen before, sitting therein, one with a long beard, at least from the silhouette, and one with a staff in their hand and kind of a bushy hair, with a kind of a sleek gown type of outfit, who you know to be Vajra Safar. And you hear Nain call once again, "Please, please, make your way in
So you
to
did hear me.
our abode."
I missed him. Walking in.
At your convenience.
Oh, I remember this now. Yeah.
This
It's
is
like,
great.
can you go? Can't you go? Can you go?
It's like when two people arrive at the intersection at the same time. And it's like, doot, 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 doot.
Yes, thank you, Master Nain, for summoning me. Please, all of you, shades, come forth.
Yep.
Forthcoming.
I come forth and find a seat.
There are, in fact, 6 seats set up for you.
How did they know?
She looks at you all, and she has a kind of a dour look on her face. She says, "My condolences on the loss of Rubius."
Nain, did Severus tell you the connection between the Rubius and Jax and the Painker? Did you know this?
You watch as Nain's brow furrows, and he thinks for a moment, and he says, "His future was unclear, and his past was obfuscated from many views.
It also means unclear.
I knew what I thought I knew until I was shown to not know much at all."
That's my life motto,
Wait,
too.
Thomas, let me get this straight. You had an opinion that was proven to be wrong.
I knew of some of his lives and had a hunch, but did not know with certainty as to his nature and creed.
Well, if I am not mistaken, there is no doubt that he was a pain cursed, as Eli was.
Eli. You say he was connected to Jax.
I believe so. If the visions and what we were told is correct, the name Jackson, the changeling, I believe it might be the same Jax. It makes sense. She knew Thoreg, which was also a pain cursed.
That is most interesting. She seems to be a nexus point for the pain cursed. As
Write that down.
That is 3, yes.
we have been in confirmed contact with her.
Could you explain, please, what you're doing?
Hello.
And what's a
Wake up!
Vajra speaks up.
what's a nexus point? What does it mean?
It means that there are forces afoot that she seems to be channeled through and by, and we don't know. That's odd. Interesting. Perhaps she doesn't even know for herself. Usually they don't.
Have you been keeping an eye on her in Waterdeep?
She is safe. She is running your
Yes.
tavern, the Spirit Within.
You have a
You
tavern?
have a tavern?
I think I have told you this in the past. I
But
keep
I'm
saying
playing
that's why we
excited
should
now.
go to Waterdeep, you know?
She has
Where
been
is
in
the opportunity there for business? Hold on, Nain, 1 second. Petrus. Coffee would fit well in Waterdeep, I believe.
I'm sure. Another time. But yes, you are correct.
She has
All right.
been in contact with others lately.
What
of a
others?
mysterious nature. We have yet to ascertain. She is not very cooperative
With whom?
with us.
Oh no.
Not antagonistic, but simply wishes to be left alone, and so we leave her be, keeping a watch on her. Eli, on the other hand, has been, well, indisposed, and Nain has been keeping an eye on him, but his future is
Cloudy.
those pain cursed. So hard to
Oh.
see.
I believe she said obfuscate.
Can you see Yanni?
What's a good
Yanni.
question?
Master? Well, the half-giant known as Yanni is currently under the persuasion of an evil cult of the dragons, known to seek to resurrect the most evil and foul.
He's talking about Tiamat.
Detestable
Get in there.
of all
Point. Yep.
dragonkind.
In the Tiamat.
Oh, is it like a black dragon?
Walking to
gold dragon,
Tiamat. There we go. It's
bronze
gonna be
dragon,
the Tiamat, queen of the dragons.
silver dragon.
which is all
Probably
7
silver dragon.
heads, which
Tell
is
me, I
all
don't know!
It's
the
gotta be a
chromatic
green
colours.
dragon.
It's gonna be Tiamat, but
Tiamat.
there we go.
Oh, she said it before. Got it. What's that? In detail,
Tiamat.
explain.
Someone you
is
never
the
want to meet.
mother of all chromatic evil dragons.
What color are chromatic?
Red,
Come on.
black,
Red, black.
Can
Blue.
Can I see your
White.
scales?
Yeah, look.
white,
You got some red there.
and
Some is the important
green.
thing.
Should we be worried about that? She's got some red there.
But
Yes.
note the spread of gold now.
Should I be worried about this?
Absolutely.
That's new.
Should I be worried about this?
Progress doesn't happen in a night unless it does, which it did
Badger
for me.
kind of interrupts and just thank you, Master. Gold is good, black is bad.
Wait, back to Yanni. One more really important question. How is his hair? Can you see it?
She looks at Nain, who looks like he's ready to speak, and she says, "I'm sure it's articulate and masterful as always."
Fabulous.
I say, is
Because
there
if it's not, then he could be out of a nom's,
Will.
yeah,
got
exactly.
it.
in the
Yeah.
purview of our mission here? What is the situation beyond where we currently are concerning the storm, and have we impacted it at all? And are we still heading in the direction we should be heading?
Yes. Questions I would expect from a logical thinker, as yourself, JB. Thank you.
Oh, don't
We
stop.
have had some successes and failures. The wave continues to gather in the west. A demon by the name of Tiapolo, aided by, well, we now know, Orcus,
Tiapolo,
seeks
you say,
to
huh?
overwhelm Waterdeep from the sea. We sent a detachment of some of our best to seek to intervene with Orcus, and while they mostly survived, they were unsuccessful in defeating him in his abyssal plane. We had, well, we didn't have high hopes for success, but we did learn information, and it sounds like they met more than they anticipated. Orcus having summoned to himself even the Lich Acerarak, which they were not prepared for. Be that as it may, we were able to ascertain that Orcus...
Carissa backwards.
We were able to ascertain that Orcus is in fact not connected to the storm with which you are dealing. We thought that he was, given the necrotic ash, and as she gestures kind of around her, the sky, which is pitch black, kind of flashes to the storm itself with the ash falling. And she kind of looks up. There is clearly a necrotic connection, but it is not powered by Orcus. We have yet to determine what powers this terrible maelstrom. In the north, the power of the orcs grows under the Many Arrows tribe. They threaten Neverwinter itself as Mount Hotanu continues to grow and rumble with tectonic force below. The shadows grow all around. The cult of the dragon and the Zentarum fighting each other. We have sought to foment that conflict as best as possible, and therein we have had success. There is something happening in Baldur's Gate. We know not what. It is most troublesome, however, that our contacts there have disappeared one by one. There is... Master Nain has foreseen an issue with the first plane of the 9 hells, Avernus, and there is an issue with the astral sea and some union of sorts, which all seek to converge on us. Here, she gestures again, and the city of Waterdeep, the cityscape, comes into view. Beyond that, our friends in the Iron Throne have informed us that there are issues in the other realms as well. There is something afoot in Eberron, there is something afoot in Midgard, we know not what, and even Ravnica seems destabilized. Our connections at Sigil, the city of doors, are not able to acquiesce to our requests for more information due to their oaths. Even those who are set to protect the subalterns of the plains are intervening as best they can in holding things at bay. However, they too have been met with setbacks. This is why your quest must succeed. You are the only ones who have the opportunity to pierce through this magical storm. You must do so. You must continue on. Find a way. You have a lead. Figure it out and do so. You are our best hope for this theater of the war.
Wow.
Can you please...
Did you hear that? We're the best.
We're the only.
Could you,
The best, though.
do you have more information about Ravnica? Is it alright?
The usual infighting goes on.
Okay.
They're all like him. That actually makes sense.
No.
Oh.
The Veselkin are quite cerebral, and those who we often deal with. But there are, as your friend can tell you, many other guilds of whom have their own aims.
Yes, it's a constant struggle there. Alright, so you're telling us there are plots against everything all over the place. Our
Sounds
little,
like it.
our little theater here. You want us to continue on, and
You must.
I would ask. You mentioned you are fomenting the dragon cult and the Zentarum to quarrel amongst each other.
Yes.
Do you believe they are not part of this storm creation?
We do not. We think something far worse is behind it and is tapping into the ancient technology of the Netherese. The Nimbus Collective, or Hegemony as they have called themselves, seems to be at the center and in control of this storm, using ancient rituals and magics designed by the Netheril Empire. The Zentarum, as usual, seek to capitalize for their own gain, and the cult of the dragon, as always, seeks to manifest their plans to bring back Tiamat. Therefore, we seek to keep them at each other's throats by releasing information to cause them to seek the same ends for themselves.
Yes, okay. We had concluded that the Zent were not a part of it, but now you have shared the cult of the dragon is you're sure is also not a part of it. We have
I am not
bigger fish to fry.
I am not certain, but I am.
Evidence points to not being involved.
The cult is throughout the Sword Coast and Toril, just as the Zentarum are. They will seek to leverage every opportunity to their ends and are not something to be ignored. However, They do not seem to be the immediate threat that the storm poses. That belongs to the hegemony in control of this arcane
Okay.
bastardization of the weather.
Anthony.
Yes, how is the old Goomba?
Well, he shocked me just now, but he said that was for you.
Bada bing!
Yes, hilarious. So, he led us. No, he didn't lead us, but we just destroyed a book, the Book of Ibarn.
You destroyed one of the...
Yes, we did.
That is a most excellent development.
In the battle we just had, it was we thought over, but this.
You watch as Vajra is listening, but she leans over to Nain and, not trying to hide anything, she just says very clearly, "Alert Mordenkainen at once. He will want to know this. That bodes well for him and his battle." And she leans in again to listen to you.
Okay. It seemed as though, well, you probably saw Nain. It was the Minotaur, which I think you said has been around for a while. It was a Minotaur caster of some sort. Seemed to be using an altar powered by this book.
That, according to our friend Morthos, seems to be the aim of players within the cult of the dragon. They are allying with other forces, trying to find ancient relics of power. That, we do believe, is connected to this convergence somehow. But that is a subset of the cult itself. The cult has its own factions, just as the Zentarum do. And there seems to be a subset within the cult seeking to access these motes, which you already have in your possession. 3.
Yes.
As she looks at Marishka and her eyes go to her ring, as well as the hopper that Morthos carries and the necklace that Morthos wears.
Do you have any names attached to these agents?
Agents of whom, dear?
Throughout these various sections of the dragon cult. You say there are various players. What other intelligence do you have on them?
We know some, low level. If we knew who they were at higher level, well, we would intercept them and eliminate to the best of our ability, for they are evil. They are very well hidden and, in fact, magically obscured. This is quite simple, actually, with the right... And she holds up a necklace of her own. Accoutrement. And she puts it down. And JB, you would recognize, having dealt with arcane artifacts for the Zentarum, that this seems to be some sort of amulet of non-detection or something of that. So, an cancellation of scrying and those sorts of magics.
I'd like to make one of those one day. Okay, so Anthony is telling me that there are more texts of power that it seems as though that sect of the cult is searching for, and he's informed me that he wants me to also in our travels be aware and destroy whatever we find in that manner. But so you're saying, I mean, the cult of the dragon, if we all know this, yes, maybe not. They have been trying this for ages, literal ages.
Cult of the
They've
Dragon,
succeeded a few times.
They first focused on Dracoliches and seeking to bring back their ancient, who they see as brethren. A sect of them split, seeking to instead raise Tiamat herself. They were
So
nearly successful, though were thwarted, and in the aftermath of that failure have now sought, it seems, well, to craft a vessel for Tiamat that she may enter into from the plane, rather than having to conjure her or open up a portal thereto. It is messy business, and something we are keeping our eye on very closely, but as with most seasons and times, there are concentric circles of danger, and we must keep our eyes on the most pressing. Mordenkainen seeks to seek balance through his order, of which Nain is a member, and, well, your friend used to be before his sacrifice. She points to your lens, JB, as she says that. We are focused and have been tasked to focus on the Sword Coast. This is where our commitment is, and we cannot be overwhelmed by the other fronts. Therefore, we focus with you on the storm and the wave and the avalanche and the shadow.
Yeah, I only brought all that up to suggest, because I have not read much on what this book contained. What Anthony is saying is mythos and void magic seems to be, well, if the dragon cult just continues its history, then they're attempting to raise something powerful from those realms, and that does not seem like we are ready to deal with that as of yet. So some extra eyes in the skies for things of that nature would be useful.
Nain is watching, and Savras has made clear that it is you who have the best chance
Oh shit.
with the storm.
Oh boy.
For various reasons and threads and impulses. She looks at each one of you very carefully and kind of imbuing confidence as she looks.
Call of a knob.
Yes, the call of Anam.
Well, clearly I'm not called by the Raven Queen, so I'll just say that.
Yes, dear.
One last thing. It's supposed to be a secret, so I'm gonna kind of whisper it.
I'm rolling for perception
Secret's
already.
No, she's fake whispering to everyone. So I wasn't the only storm giant sent out to investigate. I don't know how many others there are, but if you would make contact with them and perhaps
I didn't know this.
I don't know where they are or how many, but the Council of Elders sent out more than me.
I thought it was only you.
No.
It was questionable why they sent out just a child.
Well, one for each direction they were thinking.
Oh, I do
of
remember
where-
that.
Yeah.
Yep, carry on.
It's okay. So, if you guys would make contact with them, perhaps I'll write a message to my father, who's very high up in the council, and perhaps you guys, because storm giants can be sometimes pretty slow to act. Like, they like to investigate. They're not like a jumping in kind of people like me. But you know my mom name, don't you?
Aren't you a storm giant?
Yeah. What did I say?
Like me?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
storm
no, not jumping
giant.
in like me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
her personally, not
I
her race.
do know her, and I will inform her of your progress
Well,
as soon as I can.
perhaps
Make a connection with her.
they were always talking about patience with me. Perhaps you could tell them a lot that you guys know, and then maybe you guys can move the Council of the Elders to action and help you guys. And then we have a Nom on our side. Well, I mean, you would have a Nom on your side. He's always on the Storm Giant side, because we're the best.
Vajra speaks up. Well, my dear, your tribe is already engaged in the avalanche up north.
Wait, I wasn't told about that. Who's engaged? Is my mom safe? Is my dad safe?
They are safe.
Oh, that's good.
They are engaged with the orcish hordes.
Those orcish whores.
My parents?
Your tribe, yes.
Your parents are engaged with orcish whores? What do they do at this council of elders?
You know what? It's some pretty crazy stuff.
Is that why they gave you the Super Thunder Fist?
I think you guys gave it.
I'm sorry. Just being a jerk.
Yes, that's usually Bart's role, isn't it?
Well, we are one.
At least you're realizing that.
I feel like that was directed at both of us, Bart.
Speaking of Bart and
Oh, yeah.
Ollie,
What do you think of this?
Vajra or Master Rain, can you show him your sword?
Fing!
Can
And
you
this.
Oh yeah, that's what we called
Can you read?
can you read these? Do you
Oh,
understand what these are?
I cannot.
Aww.
Nain? He looks at it. Those are for a very particular set of eyes.
Eyes? Like, eyes?
Yes,
4 sets?
eyes.
Like we're being watched? Are we being
Do you...
watched?
Can I insight that?
Sure.
8.
He seems to be trying to send a message without being overt. And Oliver / Bart, what do you...
What's he saying? What is... I've never actually looked at it yet.
Here, hold it to my eyes.
What's this? Anything?
No.
Anything?
Nothing.
I don't see anything.
Or are we the ones just in case?
Do you look at it, Oliver?
I mean, I can't read abyssal. You
Here,
know?
let me help you. She
I
pushes
can't
it
read.
really close to his
Okay,
eyes.
thank you. Yep.
Do you see anything?
I see the blade, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah.
Is it really sharp?
Pull it back a bit. And he kind of looks at you, his eyebrows raise, waiting.
Owa Tagu Siam.
Yeah, Bart,
Teh.
you need the bifocals of legend.
Teh. I think that one's the.
Wait, Bart, are you reading?
Well, I can read. What's it say?
Oliver, you can't read it. Bart.
Bart goes in. Let me take this.
Bart, you can read it.
Hey, I can read it. I can't read anything.
You can read!
I can read.
You can read, you can read.
I can read, what are these?
Reading Rainbow?
Runes?
They are runes.
I can read runes!
that tell
Woo!
that tell a story.
What's it say?
Tell us.
It's not a... They're almost pictures, hieroglyphs, if you will,
Sanskrit.
like your ivory crest.
Wingding.
And they tell of a cleansing ritual
Oh.
for the sword.
Ooh, write that down.
Yeah. Write that down, Oliver.
And it shows
Can't write.
a process.
There's a process.
The first seems to already be completed.
Ooh, good news. We did part 1.
Sweet!
You did the
The
separation thing.
soul of darkness must be pierced through with light.
Yeah.
And as you think on that, you see the runes glowing with radiant light on the soul quencher itself.
Okay.
The second step seems to clarify as you look at it,
Uh-huh.
and it shows a coin
It's my coin. Second step's my coin.
that seems to
Somebody's-
have the power to center.
Time out.
Power to
The
center.
ivory coin?
Yes.
Holy crap, that's new information.
Power to center.
And the third step is unreadable.
Wait.
You seem to have to complete the second to know the third.
So, okay, here's what I'm getting. The ivory coin that I've been sent out to get off Island Curiosity is not for this sword. And he's holding an ivory crest. It's for this one.
What happens if it's for both?
Yeah, does that mean there's like
Oh,
some sort of
I guess it could
onyx
be for-
coin?
Wait, did he say, did you say the middle?
Yeah, it's a 3-step process. Process 1 done. Process 2 is find the coin. I can't read process 3 because I haven't done process 2.
I'm sorry, you said the coin has the power to center?
Center,
Yeah,
no?
I believe center.
What-
and it's
what-
the middle one.
What if the coin literally is the center of your two swords?
Wait a second.
Center. Like,
I wasn't.
Darth Maulin.
Well, that's pretty cool. But then that means all along
well, I have no idea what that means. That's for your family to figure out, but
well, we've been wrong.
Or just like in episode 9, we all finally realized that there is no dark side or light side. It is one force.
No, I mean there's definitely evil.
Hmm.
I'm,
Look
I'm talking about the realm of Star Wars.
Oh,
The story that Stumpy author wrote about.
I've read about
You remember
that book. Yeah.
You are convinced that this is a cleansing ritual.
Yeah.
And it's not really about balance, it's about cleansing of the blade that you hold.
But still, so then that
Strike
means
that.
if it's the ivory coin, it's always been about this sword, not necessarily that sword.
You are left to theorize at this point.
Interesting.
Maybe you cleanse it with one sword and then engrave with the other sword.
I don't know. That's good information.
Don't mean to be rude.
You are. But do it. Do it anyway.
Are you kicking us out?
I'm already sleeping
I
in the corner with
am
my
giving
face
you a
mask on.
final opportunity to ask whatever questions you need. You called us. She looks at Morthos.
You heard.
And Master Nain got my attention. And you can now see that the sleek gown that she wears is actually a nightgown.
Whoops.
And she seems to have been
She rolled over and hit Skype.
asleep. Her hair is actually kind of done up and it's not like she was going about her day. This is very early in the morning, or rather, yeah, very early in the morning. So is there anything else that you need or wanted to know?
Now that we've carved the path through Mulhessen and stopped this ritual, is there any aid you can coordinate or help send for this city?
We have sent it. It is you.
Aside from
boy.
us? Like aid that could stay in the area, maybe?
Yes.
The
Let's
real.
recruit another person to play D&D with us.
Well, if I can be candid, Master, may I? He kind of nods. Rubius was meant to stay.
Oh. Oh, that's not good. He's dead.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
It was going to be his job to remain and oversee, but, well...
You didn't see that one
Maltoro-
coming, did you?
Well, that was, I presume, what was obfuscated.
Could
Maltoro needed to prevent... Well, Master?
He knew something.
Nain pauses for a moment as if he's listening to something. And then he kind of just a little nod of the head. And Vajra speaks up again. He was seeking to prevent a remembrance.
What could have been so bad?
Rubius chose what he became for a reason. And should he have been reset? She looks at Morthos, kind of as if he knows what she's talking about. That would have faded.
if you have time for one or two more statements here. The first one is Nain. Any chance you could reach out to Savras and see if he has calculated the equations and, honestly, how much time do we have? Has it grown even through our fights?
Every moment we linger, the storm grows. You were able to do a tremendous service to Molhessen and the entire network of planes by destroying that book. Perhaps an even greater service than stopping the storm. However, your task remains before you. He looks at Killian. Evereska is in grave danger, and it is one of the pillars of hope that must remain. If it falls, then he kind of pauses. It is unclear the ramifications of such destruction. However, there is a reason Miku has come to you.
Our friend.
There is a reason he bid you go to that tower. There is choice that you can make, and should you decide to part and go directly to the Archwood, that will save time with the storm. You have
Not do the tower.
We have
the
choices.
choice, the freedom, and responsibility to choose.
All
Choose wisely.
All we know about the tower is there a tricolored dragon there.
Hey.
What could be so significant about that it would demand a detour to the storm?
Well, we promised we would help.
I know, and I intend to honor it, but we need to know what we're walking into. If this is so significant that even Nain knows about it, then clearly there's more at work than just a dragon.
Vajra leans in. And what does a tricolored dragon sound like to you?
That was a
It was
brilliant.
great. Fantastic impression.
I'll say you're correct.
Thank you.
Pretty close, yes. It's not natural. It's not natural.
Vajra actually starts laughing.
It's not natural, is what I think.
If they've succeeded enough to have produced a tricolored dragon, then their experiments are far enough along that I don't know if we can hazard letting it continue.
Unless, yes.
I mean, we've created a tricolored dragon also, but we got rid of one of those
I'm
colors.
back to double dragon now.
We didn't even try that hard.
If you can end it, that would be most advantageous. And the only reason why that resource would be dispatched to this area is because the cult must desire whatever is in that tower.
Well, then we must get there first.
Well, I also desire it. Let's do it.
You hate the dragon,
Wait,
don't you, Morthos?
Were you kind of implying we should skip that and go directly to the woods?
The choice was ours. They said.
I am implying that you have agency.
Yes, well, before you said that, we were going to go to the tower. Therefore, by implying it, you have removed some of our agency.
You have
Chippy.
choices. They are free to you to make. You asked about the timing of the storm, and therefore it was explained to you. There are choices. There are consequences.
To every choice.
Yanni might be at the tower.
My father could be there. That would be a fun reunion.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I appreciate your time. I'm sorry for disturbing your rest, and we also need some rest.
Yes, and she snaps her fingers, and in your lap, a scroll appears. And you open it up, and it's a spell of comprehend languages.
Hey.
She says, every good wizard should be prepared.
Don't worry, he just got Misty Step.
Well, if you see my mom and dad, tell them I say hi and stay safe. And that I'm going to bed on time.
She laughs again. Very good. We will let them know.
Vajda, thank you. Just thank you for hearing me. And thank you for taking our questions.
Well, those, and she looks at your lapel pin, don't always work from you to me, but we are keeping track of you. Keep pressing on. Keep striving forward. Seek the end. Do not give up. Endure and persevere. And the gods, including Anam, she looks at you, and Maestra, she looks at you, and Pelor, she looks at you,
And Bahamut.
and Bahamut, she looks at you,
I found religion.
Weird.
and the Ancient One, she looks at Killian, and the Mischievous One, she looks at Oliver/Bart,
Ooh.
The
are guiding you.
one. The
No,
mischief
your god.
god.
Your god was
Your
called the
god
mischievous
is
one.
called mischief.
Makes sense.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I bid you all a good evening. And she sits back in her chair, and as she does, you feel all 6 of your chairs kind of recede back into the darkness as the hallway kind of flows around you. And again, there's the shift in your equilibrium and gravity as you all find yourselves seated around a table in the Art of Willie, the artificer house.
Anyone else find that extremely thrilling?
Yeah, JB, you should learn that
That
spell.
was fun.
Feel like I can climb the walls when there's no gravity.
It was like flying.
Well, on that note, I am going to bed.
And as you move towards your long rest, we're going to do our first giveaway of the evening. We're going to give away those dice.
We did win the dragon.
Yes, we're going to give away that dragon tonight. So stick around. We will give away the white dragon that is there. You guys let me know when a good time to do it is, and we will make that happen. But right now we're going to give away the dice. Type into the chat if you would like your opportunity to enter for the drawing for the dice, those forest green dice. Type into the chat right now, exclamation point, lore, L-O-R-E, as the party just received some more, lore, exclamation point, lore, and you can have an opportunity to win those forest green dice. Exclamation point, lore, for your chance to win. You each take your rest. You all arise at the dawning light, fully refreshed, to the sound of a scream.
Oh.
Oh,
Alright.
lovely.
As you kind of look out the window and you watch as Miku comes crashing into the market square, smashing the skulls of several undead as he goes. And in his wake, he looks to be leading the charge. In his wake,
Oh, me too.
you see a
And a boy.
cadre of guards
Yes!
who are in formation
My
with
boy.
crossbows and weapons at the ready, as Rochelle seems to be leading right behind Miku as they are carving a swath through the undead, and they seem to be moving now unfettered now that the shadow demons have all this shadow presence has been dealt with.
We're there just sipping our tea watching.
Yeah. Hey, Miku! Miku! Oh, guys, we have to come.
The right head, me, kind of looks over at you with a broad smile. The left head of your Etten friend, Q, kind of looks at you, again smiling, and, yo.
We did it!
Miku goes, as he kind of calms down after smashing the skull of one of the undead, he kind of walks towards you as the soldiers form a perimeter around the market square.
Well, what'd you do?
We killed some bad guys. Smashed their heads. Then re-killed some bad guys. It was pretty glorious.
Too. Then we killed some more.
Except for the part of losing Rubius.
Oh. Yeah, that
I was trying to break that too gently.
That was not so glorious.
Very sorry to hear that.
I was trying to
Yo.
segue into that, but...
But at least...
Has Rochelle stopped also?
Rochelle has set up the perimeter, and she is now moved towards you as well.
At least hopefully he will not have died in vain.
May his soul be at peace.
Yeah, JB looks at Rochelle. Yes, Will. More than just taking out bad guys, it seems as though we have taken out the localized source of power in this town, and you, as you may have noticed, you've been able to make more progress within the night. Yes?
Yes, we saw that very clearly. The purple specters that were throughout this city all disappeared in a flash.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We are able to fight back the undead. They still rise due to the ash, but if we can pierce through their brains, it seems to put them down indefinitely.
Can I recall who Rochelle was? She was the leader of the
She was
captain of the guard or something?
She was essentially the lieutenant and the one in charge of the barracks that you had freed. The captain was said to be in the barracks on the western end of the city, which you guys did not go in that direction.
So I tell her, our task could not have been completed without the efforts of Wolfram, Lowe, and Raj.
They survived.
And so I would like to commend them on that, and perhaps moving forward you can look to them for guidance in this city.
Oh, as we always have.
Good.
Wolfram is very wise. He is extremely perceptive. And Raj has an inner strength which is very comforting.
He's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for what you have done. You've saved our city. Mulhesson will be forever in your debt. And I personally am in your debt.
Right, I did already.
Thank you.
It's underscored.
You saved my life and the lives of my men and the townsfolk around me. They are safe, thankfully. We were able to make our way back to the conclave, and we are now eliminating all the undead upon which we face. So thank you again. Is there anything that we can do for you as you... Are you going to stick around and help? Are you moving on? What is your plan now? You Shades, yes? That's what you call yourselves?
I believe... I feel confident that you can manage getting your city back the rest of this way, yes?
I believe so. We are, at this very moment, seeking to exfiltrate any of those who remain at the western barracks. I hope the captain is still alive.
Well, this storm is causing much more in that direction. We must keep heading that way.
Yes, it is quite ominous, isn't it?
This was just a small taste of what I believe we are all going to encounter.
Dear gods, I hope you can stop it, if that is your aim.
So do we.
Yes, so we have obtained certain tools during this adventure, and I don't want to force it upon anyone, but I believe we're going to keep those tools continuing on. However, some of our objects that will assist us moving forward to end the whole of this storm have been damaged, and I was wondering if perhaps the city could help us with repairs of broken items and artifacts and replacing things that are of no use to us anymore, for we are facing stronger enemies. Is that something that can happen today?
I highly doubt it can happen today.
Mm.
As you see our situation, what we can certainly talk with Wolfram and Raj about what they and their order, at least those who survive, can do. But I don't know the timing of that. I'm sorry.
Once you get communication back up and some sort of semblance returned, I would highly recommend beginning communication with the closest villages and cities. If this is still spreading, you will need to know the moment one of them falls, because that means the next in their path is going down.
Yes, that's very wise. What of your wood elf friend?
Unfortunately, he did not make it.
I see. He had a unique way about him
That he
that I
did.
found pleasant. I'm sorry to hear that.
You know what you could do for us?
Built him a statue of
That's what I was
Yes!
thinking, with a really big mustache. He would love that. And that's something that you could do for us, too. I mean, we did just save your city. Big statue. At least 10 feet.
That's your normal size.
My dear,
I'm going to be 10 feet in
you'll
like 3 years.
You'll
so.
be larger than that yourself. But
Well, I'm expected
that
to
seems to be fitting. I will speak when this is all calm, and if that storm dissipates and we are no longer in mortal danger as it encroaches, I will speak with Francois, who I believe you met,
Ah, Francois.
and see what he can do.
Big, glorious, bushy mustache. Write that down.
Got it. Big, bushy mustache.
Glorious, bushy mustache.
Glorious.
It's important, yeah.
Majestic, even.
Yes.
That's the word.
Thank you for lending us the help of your friend, Miku. He was surprisingly effective and docile. I'll have to change my perspective of Etten from here on out. But he hoped to find you, and now we have, and I know he wanted to continue to go towards what he said was a great quest you were on together. I can only assume he meant the storm, so please, good luck, and our prayers are with you.
Thank you.
Oh, random question before we go. That hair I gave to you for your bowstring, is that still working?
Yes?
Okay, good to know.
Should it not be?
No, I would hope it would still be working. It's just some information I was looking for.
I did restring it later, but she pulls it out. Have it here as part of her kind of
Just in case. Yeah.
little side pouch with several strings in it in case there's a break.
In case you roll a natural one.
Well, the pathway to the eastern gate is clear, as best as we were able to accomplish, and so thank you again. We're going to continue on towards the western barracks. So she bids you adieu. Is there anything else you wish to do here in the city?
The blacksmith.
Did we save the tailor?
I think he died.
Darn! How couldn't we have lost the baker?
I don't know about the rest of you, but there is nothing that you want to do. We should move quickly with Miku towards the tower.
The crystal fire elemental. Do
Uh,
we want to put that on a weapon?
Thank you. I say thank you, Rochelle. We will head out.
Very good.
Well, wait, I just want to.
Is there a reason why you have that body with you?
Do I have a body with me?
A
Yeah.
body?
Yes.
She
Yeah,
points to Luque's body.
He's got the
Oh, yeah.
magical, manticles.
We've been walking
We're testing
around
a
with it.
theory. We think he's
Yes.
going to come back to life in, what was it, 3 days?
In 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, he'll come back to life in one day if you leave him exposed to this. And she points to the ash.
Fair enough.
We should keep him covered.
Hey, don't we have a broken
He's
cape or
already been
something?
exposed.
That's true.
Didn't think that one through.
Well, I guess we just kill him again.
Wait another 3 days?
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
I can't start smelling though.
Well,
Honestly, it's no worse than Mikyu.
I say we leave. We take the manacles and we just leave him to here. Maybe to be imprisoned and questioned by the city. I don't know. If he comes back. It's not an undead.
if he comes back as not an undead,
May I?
What?
She walks up to the body and pulls out her sword.
Oh.
And she
It's their
stabs it
decision.
into his
Okay, no.
face
Yep, there we go.
and
she's
pulls
not
it
a
and
painter.
pulls it out.
Good.
That should deal with the ash.
all right, good. Then we keep the body. Let's go.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
Why would he come back from the dead?
Oh, it's a long story.
We are trying to see if what other powers
Should we
might
tell
be
her?
at work here.
I don't know.
What harm
And
does
we're
it do?
testing
She
It's
might
it.
run
just
into
there are magics beyond what is written down in books at foot here, clearly. Yes. And there's more than just undead rising in the world.
I understand. Say no more.
That's all.
Do you need a stretcher or something?
No, we have a
I'll
giant.
carry the dead body.
Well, we could just have Miku do it.
Okay.
Hey, Miku?
be happy to carry him.
Yeah, you're very strong.
I am pretty strong.
Yeah, you're the perfect one for this job.
Perfect. That's
Absolutely.
right. Yeah.
If you could just hold it a little above yourself too, so that the smell kind of like doesn't drift down to us, that would be very appreciated.
He takes Luke's body and just throws him over his shoulder.
Perfect.
Yo,
Oh,
says Q as he kind of gives a like nasty look, but Me's got him firmly held.
Yeah.
You
What?
guys make your way.
On the way out of the city, I am going to say, I know we had a plan to head to the tower, but upon reflecting on what Nain and Vadris were telling us, is anyone else thinking perhaps we should not head towards the tower and go directly towards the forest?
Are you saying this in front of Miku?
Yes. I care not what Miku thinks.
I vote the tower.
I vote the tower.
Yanni might be there.
Are
and we
you sure?
promised Miku.
Are you sure
Yanni's
that
gonna be
even
there?
though your main goal your whole life has always been to actually go to the storm, that's the directive from Anam?
She was also told to help Yanni.
That was another vision, and I figured I can do both in one shot.
Well, they told us there are consequences of doing that, so
Well,
the
they
storm
told us,
could be stronger
Did
when
they
we
not
get to
tell
it.
us there are consequences to either?
Correct. Yes.
But Yanni, if I'm
We
able to
don't-
save him, he might be able to help us with the storm.
They did not exactly tell us which ones were the lesser or greater.
Mm-hmm. Right, but prior to them saying that, we all thought we only had one option, and so we got presented with another option that seems to be more direct to the storm.
If we know of evil happening on the way, I don't see how we could stomach not doing it.
And we promised Miku.
Okay, I understand. Don't just remember I said this before we get to the storm that's
Before
going to
we
be
die.
stronger. Yes.
Killian, what are your thoughts?
Killian's not paying
Alright, Killian, that's useful.
attention.
Mortos?
I don't know, but I feel like we promised Miku we'd go to the tower. He has helped us this far. I feel like it is the least we can do. And pray that the consequences of this action we won't come to regret later.
I regret it immediately already, so let's do this as quick as we can, please.
Right. So you continue on traveling. Miku leads you to the east,
No, just smarter than all of them.
which is along the road, and he points out on the map will be kind of along the Way of the Manticore is the name of the road. And he describes to you an eyrie, kind of a large rock formation with a manticore eyrie known as the Cragged Tooth, which he tells you is the landmark at which you need to move south towards where the tower is situated in a kind of heavily forested area. So you begin traveling towards the Cragged Tooth eyrie and along the way of the Manticore. And I need someone to roll a D10, please.
I don't think I've rolled these yet.
Hold on. Do we pick up the carts we had and then
Yeah, the
go back to
horse.
the east?
Grillef.
So you have your carts,
We have
and
Grillef.
you have your horse,
Cool. And donkey?
and you have Bill the burro.
Don't worry, Killian. We didn't forget him.
And
Oh, it turns out
Alright.
Bill died.
And
while
I
we
would
were
like to
gone.
be in one of the
And
carts and
you-
studying things.
you have your phantom steed.
Oh yeah, the one that wants to
Relax.
get freed.
Oh yeah, we got the fancy cart.
Yep. So that is what's her name again?
Grillef.
Grelith. That's right. And so you move down the way of the Manticore. Please roll a D10.
You got it?
Yeah, I've never done this yet. I want to do it. Wait, I might regret this though, depending on what happens.
No regrets.
7.
7.
No regrets. Oh,
17
did you see that face?
reasons why Marthos is gonna roll for us.
Oh, 7.
As you travel along the road,
Seven's actually my favorite number.
you encounter several undead,
Completion.
and you take care of them with ease.
Any
Ray,
loot on him?
as you are traveling forward,
Oops.
you're keeping your eye out, kind of walking along the way.
Skipping, let's be real.
Skipping along the way, humming some of the songs to yourself as you go. And as you are going, you see a butterfly.
She's gonna grab Ollie's arm. Ollie! Do you see it?
I
It's
do-
happening again!
Oh no.
And she's gonna
Are you
chase
still
off.
holding on to me?
No, she lets
Okay.
go and then she
Right.
chases off. The ground shakes with every step.
You watch as Ray,
like Hobbs, Kelvin pulling
Yeah.
you watch as Ray bounds off and in the direction of the forest.
Oh, Ray, where are you going? She's.
The butterfly!
Ah, shit. Are we?
Be back in a bit!
No, we shouldn't be splitting. There's a lot of dead things.
You rush after the incandescent butterfly that flutters ahead of you, and it seems to go through a tree,
Yeah, she's gonna run into the tree.
and you just smack into the tree, breaking the tree down and bowling through the tree as you see the butterfly emerge on the other side.
That was 100-year-old oak, Ray.
It's in my way! It's going down!
As you continue through bushes and rock, and you come to what looks to be an old ancient wall.
Uh-oh.
She's gonna pause a little bit and look up.
And you look and you see that the wall looks to have fallen. As if knocked down by some great force.
By
But
a
at the
tree.
top of the wall, there seems to be a room. A abode. Which somehow survived, even though the rest of the wall crashed to the ground. And inside that room, the butterfly just hovers.
JB would love this mystery. And she's gonna start climbing up the wall and go into the room.
Okay. Roll an athletics check.
Should we be going after her, or are we just resting? She's gonna be okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is something happening?
Yeah, Ray just ran off in search of her.
I'm sorry.
21.
I'm taking notes on this
Oh,
spell book and the scroll that was given to me. I'm sorry. I'm not focused on.
All right, you bound up the wall very carefully because it's quite rickety. And as you do so, you start to feel your sense of balance begin to spin, not unlike with Master Name. And as you pull yourself up over the edge of the wall, you find yourself not in the room that you saw from a distance, but you find yourself staring out over a battlefield. And you look out, and you look around you, and there is a great wall that has been built, 100 feet high. And it is built on top of a steep mountain. And you look down at the base of the mountain, and there you see a glorious sight. An entire army of storm giants.
Yeah, boy.
And as you look behind
Like
you...
more storm giants I've ever seen together.
Yes. And you look behind you, and you see a cloud city that is built at the into where this wall is that separates and goes down this mountain. And you look out, and the storm giants are marching in a circle around the wall. And as you turn, you look, and there in a rocking chair, you see a smiling giant. Except she is not a storm giant. She's a cloud giant.
Uh-oh.
And she looks at you, and she says, "Oh, my daughter,
What?
I am Habre."
Carissa, take notes.
Did you know that you are named after me?
Out of a cloud giant? My parents wouldn't be so foul!
She smiles broadly. She says, "Watch." And she gestures forward, and the army all at once stops and lets out a massive shout of power. And as the shout reverberates through the mountain,
Magical shout.
the wall begins to crumble. And the city within shakes and quakes. But her sliver of the wall remains. And out the side, you see a long, woven, heavy rope that seems to have been let out of the window of her room. And she says, "I understand your vitriol, but I too serve Anam."
I mean, not as much as I do.
She laughs.
That's good.
How could a cloud giant? I mean, you guys are like, come on! You're a cloud giant! Offense meant!
And I am also your great, 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 great grandmother.
Blasphemy! How is that even possible? Blasphemy! She looks... No cloud giant drop in me!
Hold out your hammer.
Ray's gonna hesitate and kind of clench it a little bit harder. And then she's gonna look at the butterfly. I mean, cloud giants are the epitome of all evil.
This is gonna be awesome.
I know. I can't wait. This is great.
The butterfly simply rests on her shoulder as she sits there kind of
Threateningly.
cross-legged, just kind of leaning in
Like a
and
target?
smiling at you. It just rests on her shoulder. She says, Ray, what comes from the clouds?
Rain.
Yes. And what else?
Storms.
Yes.
Lightning.
I
We're still better than you.
I cannot help the evil of my people, but I can help my part in it.
Yeah,
I chose to stand with the sons and daughters of Anam when my brethren did not, and for that I was counted amongst you and your people, our people.
Kind of like Ratooth?
Yes, even like Ratooth. Have you met her yet?
Only stories.
Perhaps you will.
She's gonna kind of give it an exasperated sigh and with a shaking hand. And take it! Oh, ancestors, don't kill me for giving this weapon to a cloud giant!
She takes it, and as she does,
Awesome.
her form shifts from that of a clown giant to that of a storm giant. Although her face is still clearly a cloud giant. No, wait, her form doesn't shift, her garb does. Though she's dressed as a storm giant, she still remains a cloud giant. But it is clear that she has been accepted into your people. And she looks to you and she says, "What do you wish? Do you wish to have the peace and patience to endure in the face of overwhelming odds, to do what is right? Or do you wish to have the power
The power.
to break down the walls around you?"
Well, if it's before Deborah, I would have said power. Because, I mean, who doesn't want more power? But Deborah would probably say patience. Morthos would probably say patience. Killian would probably say patience. Bart would be on my side, though. So, I mean,
100%.
me and Bart over JB, Morthos, Killian. JB would do power. Rishka would probably do power.
I have become enlightened.
How's your chance?
Well,
Tap into the cloud.
what would...
Upload your files.
What would a nom do?
I forgot what I was going to say now. I was going to ask a tenured question. What kind of peace and patience and endurance? Like, what would happen? Like, would I just be like, oh, I'm peace?
The wisdom of your people and the knowledge of your people would fill you.
Would it help me not get so possessed all the time? Because I've been possessed a lot of times. I'm kind of tired of it.
It would help with that.
Oh,
Ooh.
Molly.
Versus-
Molly, I'm talking to you now.
I don't want to get possessed so much.
I don't want you to get possessed. We
And-
can't kill you.
And the power, am I talking like D20 power? Like 2D20 power? What kind of power am I talking about here?
D1000 power?
Oh my
The
goodness.
power of your ancestors.
1000 ancestor power?
The power and fury of the storm.
Butterfly gets impatient, turns back into a caterpillar.
Listen, do you want to do more damage or do you want to get less possessed?
Molly always wants to do more damage.
Now, remember, weren't you just... Now, we're going to break character here. Weren't you just pre-stream saying, hey, all the damage I can do already if I crit?
And imagine if I do more! I want to smash some heads here, Jake!
Maybe while you're thinking about this, we could do the dragon giveaway. Buy yourself some time.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
So if you would like an opportunity to win that
Last would be nice.
white
I
dragon
agree.
that is rotating there on the screen,
Power would be nice.
We have reached 50 new subscribers, so we're going to give that away right now. Thank you guys for the gifted subs and all of the subscriptions. We really appreciate that.
Come chaotic evil.
Type into the chat right now for your chance to win those that white dragon exclamation point butterfly. Exclamation point butterfly.
Character development would
You all
be
right?
patience and endurance.
BUTTERFLY. Butterfly.
I want to smash more heads. But what kind of damage are we talking here?
Do you want to know mechanically what will
Yes.
happen?
Yes.
Don't tell her. That's not fair. Flip it. Do
Well,
it deep.
tough shit.
Roll the dice.
Well, character development, Ray would pick, go off of Deborah's advice, and
That's what
that'd
you
be
should do.
character development.
That's what you should do.
Molly wants to smash some heads. How can I smash the most amount of heads?
By not getting.
What? Tell me.
Best.
What?
Yeah, I think
What
I'm
does?
leaning more towards the patient endurance.
Okay.
That's what I rolled too.
Is that what you would like to do?
I mean,
Leave it to the dice, man.
I could roleplay it.
Except the cloud part.
Oh, the pains
Roleplay
of
now, okay.
character.
Well, so my thought, so I had this great whatever grandfather, you know, and he was given a similar option, and Nom went to him, and he's like, oh, would you rather have some wisdom or some, riches? And then it was Salmon, and he ended up picking wisdom, and then, Anon gave him wisdom and riches, so maybe if I pick wisdom, you'll also give me the power? That's my logic,
Roll that persuasion. No, but you, Mom.
It happened to Solomon. Just saying.
Saul Anam.
Oh, I've always
What?
been pronouncing it wrong. Solanam.
Deborah.
So, and then she's gonna think back to her encounter with Deborah. I am torn, cause looking at the power of those giants down there, and they were able to just scream and knock down the wall. That's incredible power that I would love to have. But Deborah did say I needed to work on my patience and endurance and all that kind of boring stuff. So I'm gonna pick that one.
That is a good choice.
Okay.
As
I passed
she
the
does,
test.
you watch as she
I feel like it was a
stands.
test.
And as she stands, you can now see that she is quite beautiful, even for a cloud giant. And especially in the storm giant garb that she now wears, she looks quite captivating, even to your eye. And as she stands, she holds the hammer, and she takes her hands away, and the hammer stays, levitating in place. And she takes a hand, and a left hand kind of over it, right hand over it, and to either side, and she kind of closes her eyes, and you watch as she begins to concentrate, and a yellowish golden light begins to emit from her hands as you watch that your hammer, which has lightning bolts and waves upon it, now emerges little clouds that from which the lightning bolts spring forth. And it kind of gives a fuller picture, bless you, of what is happening. And there's a softness that has been added to Ancestor's Fury now, which is not purely destructive, but now there's something deeper to it, something that is more almost humane with its depictions, more natural. And your intelligence and wisdom both increase to 10. And you now have
Shut up, JB.
No, that's
proficiency with wisdom saves.
that's a big deal.
Oh, I thought he was making fun of only a 10.
No.
Where'd you go from
got
6?
ability points?
Did you
Yeah.
go to 6 to 10?
Sick.
Or
No,
did- or-
she goes from 8 to 10
that's
in each
still
of
math.
them.
You know who else made a jump like that? Marishka did +2 last week.
Yep.
In
I'm waiting
wisdom.
for mine.
Wisdom and
Intelligence.
to 10, and what else?
And you have proficiency with wisdom saving throws.
Saves are so important.
Bart, you get a plus 0.25.
I mean, when I get possessed as many times as I do, saves are important.
As this
Wisdom went up.
as this happens, you now get the hammer back, and you feel this peace wash over you, and this sense of calm, and also perception, and an insight, and an eye for detail that wasn't there before. And you feel like, this is good. I feel like I've
It's a brand new world.
grown.
Well, I will say I had my doubts about you. I mean, cloud giant and all, but she's gonna kind of stick out her hand, like thrust it all of a sudden. I'm proud that you're my ancestor.
She steps forth, she takes your hand, and she says, "May I?"
I don't.
And she
Sure.
pulls you in and gives you a hug.
Oh, okay.
Aww.
She's gonna give her a little extra squeeze.
Very good. I will be with you now.
I look forward to meeting you again.
Oh, you will see me. I will be there with you, in spirit and in truth. And she fades. You now have another charge on your ranged attack, as you can utilize the sultry distractions of Habre in your ranged attacks. And as you come back to your reality, you find yourself standing on the edge of the forest, right at the base of the tree that you crashed through.
Nice.
As you kind of step through it and back out to your friends who are all waiting there.
Hi, guys.
Well, what'd you find? You look happy.
The grass looks greener. The sky bluer.
All right, JB,
Also,
I
I
think
feel
she's
smarter.
possessed.
I feel like
the
maybe
sky
I
look-
could do some math.
It looks more azul.
Nope. Can't do more math.
So what does that mean? What happened?
Well, I met a cloud giant. I know. Apparently she's my ancestor. I know.
God, this kid.
It was pretty crazy. Little bit of a roller coaster ride, but overall, it turned out pretty good. She offered if I wanted power or peace and endurance, and I thought back to, Deborah, and I chose the peace and endurance, and now I feel smarter. I don't know. I kind of wonder if I should have taken the power, though. But I'll stick with my choices.
Okay. Is the cloud giant lady still there, or?
No, she disappeared.
Oh,
they
naturally.
always
Okay.
disappear after the butterfly kind of goes away.
All right then. JB, did you hear that?
Yes, I did, and I wanted to say, you have to sort of decide among, each one of us has to decide if we want to be masters of one thing and really crappy at everything else,
That sounds
Or-
pretty great if it's strength.
or be okay at most things and real good at one thing. It's just it's a fact of life.
So you think I chose right?
I have no idea. You chose. That all is all that matters.
I chose.
Killian's rubbing up.
Sticking with it.
So you go
I know,
through...
Killian and Deborah, and then I was thinking Solanum, and they were all kind of playing in my head. I'm like, oh, well, they would all pick the patience and endurance, so I figured I would give it a shot. And if it doesn't work, I'll choose strength next time.
Well, if we run into any places that have really long lines, we'll send you in.
Sounds like miserable. Unless it's for ice cream. I'll do it for ice cream.
You go through the rest of the day. You find a nook on the side of the road with which you can rest. And who's going to take the first watch?
Well, Killian only needs 4
Hold on.
hours, right?
Before this day is up, I'd like to be using some of these new spells I've figured out. Now that I'm higher level. Just so you know.
Just a friendly FYI. Putting that out there in the universe.
Never mind.
Okay.
Another time, maybe.
So who's taking the watch?
Morthos will take the first one.
Okay. Killian will take the first watch. You can take the second watch.
All right.
All right. Killian rolls
You know, how many watches are there?
18.
I mean, they only need 4 hours of sleep.
We don't have an elf now, so.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think Killian's
He doesn't see anything as he wakes you, Morthos. To take the second watch, please roll a perception check.
10.
10. You hear some rustling and keep watch on it, but nothing seems to come to fruition. You don't really know what it was about off in the distance, but you seem to be unaffected.
Okay.
You go into your second day. I need someone to roll a d10 for me, please.
Okay. That's you.
8. 8. You move through your day. Despite the storm above you, there aren't any encounters of significance. It is an uneventful day as you get through your second day on the road, and you move into your watch. Please, Killian will watch again. That is a unnatural 20, and nothing happens. Who takes second watch?
Morthos will, I guess.
Okay, roll perception.
15.
15. Nothing happens on your watch. You go through your third day. Please roll a d20 for me.
D20?
I'm sorry, d10.
Okay. I rolled a 10.
10. You rolled a 10.
Of
Okay.
reasons why I was not the one.
7, 8, and 10 now we got, right?
Yeah.
Killian will take the first watch as you go through an uneventful day. And wow, that is 30. He doesn't see anything. Who's taking the second watch?
So we are in
JB
day...
is never volunteering for watch.
Morthos will take it again.
I'm so not perceptive.
Just so you know.
Yeah, I know. We have like 2 people who perceive
A
in this
9.
party.
9. All right. You are watching out and looking as night falls.
This is day 3, right?
It is day 3.
So I'm sitting like right next to Luke.
Yep. You're
Watching.
sitting next to Luke, watching him as his
Nose pinched.
his body, which is pierced through in the skull, is splayed out on the ground. Miku, having lowered him, just kind of slumped there in a pile. And as it reaches roughly 11:30, around the time which he was slain back in the ritual chamber, there is a flash of light.
Don't talk to it, JB.
And that's where we're going to pick up our next
Oh,
session.
come on.
You were right.
So, we will pick up there next week. This is a shorter episode tonight. We got some things going on that we want to
You called it.
take care of and address. We did the dragon giveaway and the dice giveaway. We are going to hold off on the minis. We'll give those away next week because we want to. We got to get out of here a little earlier. So thank you guys for sticking around, and we do appreciate you so much. And we really just love this community, and those of you who are a part of it. Thank you for sharing your lives with us, and we recognize that some of us are going through some very difficult things right now, and please know that our prayers are with you, our thoughts are with you, and we do really care about you. And so Thank you for sharing with us that we can enter into those hurts and pains with you, and we really do sincerely mean that. So,